What's going on, guys? My name is Sean Harness and welcome back to my channel. Hey, today I want to jump back in to the conversation about career planning. When it comes to jobs, there's a lot of people who are unemployed right now. And those who do have a job, those who are employed, statistics say that 19% of people who are employed are comfortable with their rate of pay. Additionally, more than 55% of people would consider switching their current job for a pay raise. So my focus today is going to be on interviewing. And with interviewing, I want to focus on those high performers, because typically those high performers are those people who essentially don't always have a hard time finding jobs. And they typically have the best techniques as it relates to interviewing and securing a job. So for those of you who are looking to switch jobs, increase your salary, or even switch companies, this video is for you today. Stay to the end of the video for some really good tips. Drop it. What's going on, guys, and welcome to the channel. Once again, thank you for joining us. Brief introduction, my name is Sean Harness. I am an engineer by trade, also a business strategist, where I've spent a ton of time building and managing multi-million-dollar businesses within several Fortune 500 companies. My channel goal is to help you secure the wealth you deserve in your everyday life. So what that means is that on this channel, we're gonna have conversations about personal finance, about business, about career planning, climbing the corporate ladder, and about lifestyle. If you found value in this video, be sure to hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you know when I get ready to post a new video and you can check out my new content. If you enjoyed this video and if you like some more free content, check out my website, SeanHarness.com. I have a free 3-day money video course there. Those that are looking to level up in their business as well as their careers. So look, guys, I'm really excited about this conversation today because this is actually one of my favorite topics as it relates to securing a position or just shifting gears and leveling up in your career is interviewing. And mainly because I look at interviewing as the gateway into the company. In my career, I've usually been known as, say, the high performer or the high potential or high pot, as they call it in the corporate world. So typically what that means is that I'm this person that is looked at as the go-to person. And so if I do a good job, typically in my mind, what I think about it is that my salary should align to a lot of the good work that I do for the company, right? But that wasn't always the case. And so what I had to do, and what I did actually, was I spent a lot of time preparing for interviews. I worked on my resume, I worked on cover letters, and I also just had a lot of conversations with my mentors in terms of what were the best steps and actions for me to take at that current time to set myself up in the future. So check it, guys. Today I want to give you 6 ways that high performers prepare and how they successfully execute the interview process. Number 1, tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself is the first question that will typically be asked of you when you get ready to sit down for an interview. This is the question you definitely need to get right. It sets the tone. It allows you a chance to build rapport with the person. So here we want to focus a brief snapshot of your educational experience, but also your professional experience. And we don't want to get into a ton of detail here. Here's the focus for your professional experience. If you worked at a Fortune 500 company or those jobs, let's say you have 10 jobs listed. If you have 2 or 3 jobs where you got a lot of those really good skill sets, those strong skill sets that are good transfers into this job, those are the jobs that you want to introduce. So the goal here is to be engaging and also to be personable. You're trying to gain rapport while you're getting to know someone in the very beginning. Typically, they start off by introducing themselves, and then you get a chance to introduce yourself. Here's your time to shine. Number 2, be able to answer the question, why you? Why do you want to work for that company specifically? And why now is it important that you work for that company? This question is important for a number of reasons. The first is that the why you want to think of things that kind of separate yourself apart from those people that you might be interviewing against. If you guys have the same educational experience, however, maybe differing levels of professional experience, what other elements are unique about you that separate yourself and make you that person that they should hire? It's also typically a good idea to have clear thoughts about where you are, where you want to go eventually in your long term, and how this role is going to allow you to get to that long-term goal, that immediate short-term or long-term goal that you're looking to achieve. Number 3, the high-performing employees typically prepare with a core set of interview questions. So within the behavior-based interview process, the thought behind the behavior-based interview process is that typically a person who has certain achievements or certain challenges, these things they want to hear in a story base. So when telling these stories, you want to focus on the STAR method. Look, it used to be STAR, but look, I'm taking out the T. So we're talking about situations, actions, and results. And we talk about results, there's a huge focus for having your results be some sort of metrics in these results. So reduce costs, reduce energy, reduce time, reduce waste by 30%, by 10%. Respectively. There's also the thought process that if you act that way in the past, you're probably going to react the same way in the future. So here's some examples of some strength stories to focus in on. Tell me a time when you had to exercise leadership. Tell me a time where you had to work with a team. Give me an example of success. These are all examples of strength stories. Not a bad idea to prepare for those areas of opportunity stories. Tell me a time when you had to deal with difficult people. Or tell me a time when you failed at something. Let me give you this tidbit though. This is not a time to bring yourself down. This is actually more so a time for showing that you were able to get through something tough or difficult, how you moved through it, and also how you grew from that. What did you learn from that? How would you react to that situation now if it happened again? You shouldn't be reacting the same way. You should be reacting differently and more mature. Number 4, research the company. What's the leadership look like in this company? What's the culture like? What are the people like? Here you should be taking a strong look at the website, look at the values of the company, look what they stand for. Does that really align with what you stand for? These are elements that are important. Also a good idea for you to try and look up some media or some press or some news about that company, right? What are some things that have happened very recently with them? What are they struggling with? What are they excelling or doing very well at? Who are the key people that are making those things happen? Number 5, research the interviewer. If you know you're getting ready to meet someone, it's a good idea to do just a little bit of research. You want to get to know the type of people that run the company. Also, this is a good time for you to do something in org behavior we talk about building rapport, because here's the thing. The person that's interviewing you, if you're able to build a good rapport and have some sort of connection to you, research states that this gives you a leg up beyond your competition. I like to look at the names of the people. I'll typically go search them on social media. Mainly, I'll start with LinkedIn. So going to LinkedIn, I will not add them. Let me add that. I'm not going to add them as a friend. I'm just going to go and look at some of what they're into, so what they're posting, what their education is like. From there, what I'll do is I'll look at and I'll think about some of the elements that I might be interested in too. Example, you may find out that someone sits on a board for the United Way. You can almost make an assumption that this person enjoys or has a passion for giving back to the community. If you are someone who actively does work in the community, this may be a good connection, and it may be a way for you, even during the time of the tell me about yourself, to slide that in and let them know that you like to do work for the community. Number 6, and lastly, be sure to ask questions. Asking questions to an interviewer shows that you are engaged in the conversation, and you were the whole time. During my time as an interviewer for Fortune 500 companies, I always found it interesting for me to spend a bunch of time with someone, interviewing someone, and at the end, I had a lot of questions for them, but they didn't have any questions for me. Don't try and wing this one. This is one that you should prepare for ahead of time. Be sure to do some research and write something down. I like to have at least 3 or 4 questions ready to go. Although you can tailor this with what's going on with that company at a specific period of time. In my realm, because I work in the strategy area, 3 questions, I'll give you an example that I typically always throw in the mix. One is, what type of things keep you up at night? Second is, how do you mitigate risk as it relates to you running your company? And third is, how do you separate yourself from your competition to be successful? That's our time for today, guys. Thank you for joining. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. And go check out my website, SeanHarness.com. I have a free 3-day money video course there for you. Until then, peace.